Welcome to the New Zero. I'm Zach, and in this video I'm going to take you through private victories. Before we go further, if you haven't already subscribed, please click on the subscribe link down below, and once you've watched this video, please leave comments in the comments section to give feedback on what you think of the videos and maybe some of the experiences that you've had in habit formation. When you're on the journey to change, sometimes it can be quite tempting to share your progress on social media, and this could have quite a few negative implications, and I want to explain some of the reasons why. Alright, let's get into it. The first reason is simply people don't care. If you look at your own social media habits, the way that you use social media every single day and how you scroll through it, how long do you spend looking at other people's posts? Do you spend minutes? Do you spend hours? Or do you spend seconds? What you realize is when you're going through people's lives on social media, you're more likely to spend just a fraction of a second on each post. If anything, you probably don't even stop, you just keep scrolling past it. This video is inspired by the work of Stephen Covey, and I think I've covered it in a couple of other videos, but his book, which is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's sold over 15 million copies worldwide. An incredible book on habit formation, but also understanding the principles behind why you operate the way that you do. In his book, he talks about private victories preceding public victories, and I find this a really important point in habit formation. And the reason why is that, to my first point of people not caring, when you start to post things on social media, you begin to put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Think of the last time you made a change and you shared it with the world. What happens is people start to have an expectation, and more importantly, you begin to have that same expectation. So, for example, you've started clean eating. You've prepared your first 10 or 15 meals or whatever it is that you're doing for the week, and you've uploaded it to your Instagram stories. 20 people see it. 30 people see it. People begin to start talking about the fact that you've gone onto this healthy regime, and every time you're with your friends, they start to judge what you eat, or when you're with your family, they're like, oh, you can't eat this. Is this part of your meal plan? Is this part of your diet? All of a sudden, all of this pressure starts to mount, and for a lot of people, they're not ready for it. And it's not to say that this can't be a successful tactic of posting to your friends and putting that responsibility on yourself, but more often than not, people will fail using this way of promoting their self-improvement. The best way to approach it is to look at things in a way where no one else will know about it. And if they find out about it, it's in a natural way. So if you started to eat cleaner, you do it in private. You begin to cook your meals, but you don't tell anybody. If you bring it to work, you'll eat the food at work, but you don't have to talk about the fact that you've started this whole program. It doesn't have to be official for anyone else but yourself. Once you start to feel as though the behaviors or the acts are becoming automatic, the cooking of the meals becomes second nature to you, and you don't forget about it, or you don't sort of push it to the wayside when something else comes up, that's when you don't even have to share it. People will just know this is a part of who you are. But the moment you start sharing things before it's really who you are, then the pressure will begin to mount up before eventually it becomes too much. The next point that I've taken from private victories is that you are your own worst critic. When you start to post things online, I think what happens is we become more aware of other people that are posting these things. You begin to start following known figures in the fitness world, for example, and this can become quite detrimental to your own perception of your body image. You start to look at what is deemed to be perfect, and you think to yourself, how am I going to get there? And this goes to a piece of advice that I actually got from YouTube, but it's to never compare your beginning to someone else's end. And this is really important because they have their own journey that they've been through, and you're in that process as we speak. So don't look at what other people are doing, but look at what you're doing and how you can improve every day. And this is the importance of being your own critic, but not in a harsh way, but comparing what you were previously to what you are today, rather than looking at someone else's already accomplished set of goals. I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. If you've got some book recommendations of your own, please share them in the comment section down below. I'm almost due to buy some new books, so I do need to know what I'm going to read next. For now, this is all that I have for this week's video. If you want to see more videos like these, make sure you tune in next week and share to your friends and family if you think that they'll benefit from some of the tips that I'm sharing in these videos. Enjoy your weekend and we'll see you next week.